Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome to Unique Visuals, and today we are talking about 5 tips that will dramatically improve your filmmaking, the films that you're creating now, and anything like that. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so number 1 is just the way that you're holding the camera. If you're not holding the camera the right way, you're gonna get really shaky footage unless your camera's like a beast at IBIS or image stabilization or anything like that. You're gonna want to know how to hold your camera to get the most stable shots possible, and that way is putting a hand underneath the lens like this and then holding it right here. To get even more stable shots, you can actually put a neck strap around your neck and like pull really tight like this, and that'll help smooth and stabilize it out a lot more. Number 2 is color grading. Like, I see a lot of people, they don't even color grade, color correct. They don't do anything to their footage. They just leave it coming out of the camera and just edit it. And I mean, maybe the film is good, they have a good idea. I'm really moving a lot in this chair. It's hard to stay still. But I find that people, they don't put any effort or any thought into coloring their image, worrying about the colors of the image. That's probably one of the most important parts, is color. I mean, you want to make sure that you get that right, because if it's not right, then it's just gonna look weird, and you can really tell a story with your color grading. Right now I am using Premiere. I edit everything in Premiere because that's what I'm used to, and then I save it as like a certain file, put it into DaVinci Resolve. They have an amazing color correcting thing, and it's actually free, so you should definitely check that out and download that for color, because they do a really good job with that. Another thing you want to do to make sure you get the right color and your color looks good is you want to set it to like the flattest profile picture that your camera does, like log. If you have log profile, I don't have that, so I don't really know, but I think normally logs they have low saturation, contrast, and everything, and you add most of that in post. For my camera, I don't have any log profile or anything, so I just went to like the picture settings or something, and I turned the saturation and contrast down. Contrast was like at -3 and saturation's at -2. So just make sure your image is flat so you can bring up the color and contrast in post. Number 3, I see a lot of people, I don't know, different people like different things. I like the 21:9 aspect ratio. I just think that looks really good, really cinematic. So I use that a lot in my B-roll and different things that I want to really like look cinematic. But I mean, some people, they choose the 1080p and they just leave it like that. I don't really think, like, if you're going for a cinematic image, I definitely recommend either putting the crop bars on top and bottom, or setting the aspect ratio in post to 21:9. So number 4, you want to make sure your composition is right. If your composition isn't right, or it's weird, or you haven't like paid attention to exactly what's in your shot, it's just not going to look super cinematic. If you just spend that extra little bit of time looking at your composition, looking at the background, looking at the foreground, looking at where your subject is, if you can move the subject, change the angle, different things like that, just to get a more cinematic image. Alright, and number 5, the final tip is just lighting. We have like 2 or 3 different sections for this section, I guess. So lighting, you just want to make sure your lighting is soft enough. Like mine, I have a soft box on mine, so it's not hitting me so hard. It creates a nice shadow along my face. It doesn't create that hard line like the sun would. And speaking of being out in the sun, if you are shooting outside and you're shooting a talking head video like this, it's always best to shoot in the shade or under a tree. That's probably the best, because leaves or trees, they can act as natural softboxes to the sun and really diffuse that light to make it soft. So there's not like a really harsh light coming in, you can't see anything, and there's a hard shadow, and everything just goes wrong from there. But yeah, just make sure you shoot with soft lighting. This is what the light looks like without the softbox in it. It just, it creates that really harsh shadow, and it's a lot brighter, and it's not filling it's not as filling as the other one is. Okay, so the other point that I have about lighting is you want to make sure the direction of your light is right. Like, normally people will think like lighting should come top down, and you really get those nasty shadows like right underneath your nose and right under like under your eyes and stuff. And those shadows, nobody likes those. They're not as flattering. The shots aren't as flattering as those if the light is coming from the sides. So like if the light's coming from the side, it really lights one side of the face up and darkens or leaves a shadow on the other, which I just think that looks nice. And it makes it look more cinematic, like unless you're going for that shot where you have like a top down light and it's really intense, I guess maybe. Okay, so I have a bonus tip for you guys. You're welcome. But the bonus tip is you don't want to use a bunch of those crazy transitions of like the spinning, the zooming in, the swiping effect. They just look, some of them look really fake and really cheesy, and you don't really want to use those in a cinematic film. The in-camera transitions are fine because I think those look more cinematic than the ones that do it in post for you. But if you do need a swipe and you're not going for a super cinematic video or a super cinematic shot or transition or whatever, I think those are fine because some of them can look pretty decent and actually do a good job with that. But if you're planning on using those in post transitions, try to make it to when you're actually filming, it actually complements that, it helps that look better. Just try that. It looks better, I think. So those are my 5 tips plus 1 bonus tip. You're welcome again. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, go ahead and give it a like. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And as always, I will see you guys later. If the composition isn't right, my chair is making a weird noise. Oh my word. My word, I need to, yeah, I'm gonna show you guys this real quick. So there, look what, this is the base to that light bulb right there. This right here, this is the base, this is the inside of that, or it's supposed to be the inside. That fell. What? Oh, should I put that up, I guess? And here's that shadow back there. The light is swinging in there. I'm very, very glad that I actually took that off to show you guys, because I would have never noticed that that light was like falling apart.